So let's move to the contact list items. So here we have our components, and we have already added so here the command. So we will have here the link to add contacts to favorites. So let's copy link. So we have already a link here. So let's copy this link and add it here. And so as we said, so it will take us to add. So here, here is the routes. So let's copy from here and paste here. And let's add here slash, and it will take us to add contact. And here we need contact, and we can use contact ID. And what else here? So we have so we don't need class, which is drop down item. So we need to add a class which is text decoration noun and text dark. Okay, and here we need an icon. So let's remove this one and add star icon. And star icon, that's also, we don't need anything else. So save, let's take a look. So as you can see now, we have star here. So let's try to add, for example, this user or this contact to our favorites list and see what we will get. And we have here an error telling us that a table which is the favorites doesn't exist. But I think we have already added the table. Why it doesn't exist? So let's move to the favorites pivot table. So this is the one. Okay, so here we have the name is pivot. Okay, so I think I made a mistake when I created the table. Okay, so we can change it here in the relationship. So instead of favorites, let's add favorites pivots. And if you want, you can change the name to favorites, and also here to favorites. Just for saving time, I will use the same name. Okay, so here let's try to add this user to our favorites. So as you can see, contact added to your favorites. Let's try to remove it. So contact removed from your favorites. So now we need to display favorites of the user. So we don't see them and we don't know how many favorites contacts inside the table. Okay, so to do that, so we need to use so the same thing as we have done with the currently logged in user and alerts messages. So we need to move to the handle Inertia requests middleware, and there we will get the favorites. Okay, so let's move to the handle Inertia. So here we have the user, so we need to add another one, this one for the favorites. So let's call it favorites, and here we get the user, and we need the relationship, which is this one. So let's copy it and use it. So here we have the user, and we need favorites contacts. So let's add a row here, favorites contacts. So now we have the favorites, we can display them. Okay, so let's close the files that we don't need. So I think that's all. So now we have the favorites. So as I told you, we can use them. And to use them, let's move to the navbar. So here we have links. So let's add another. So let's add another link. So we can add this link. So here, or let's add it here. Let's add it here. And here, what we need to get? So we need to get the favorites contacts. It will take us to this route. Let's copy from here and paste here. Okay, so let's add slash here, and here for the icon, let's make it star, and we need to give it text warning, and here we need to display how many contacts are favorited with the currently logged in user. Okay, favorites dot length. Okay, so save. Let's refresh and see what we have here. So as you can see, we have here only one. So let's do something. Let's remove it from here and use it. So let's use it after the log out. So here I think it's better. So let's save and see what we have here. So as you can see, it's better. Let's add this one, which is the second one. So it was he is the contact that was before. Okay, so now we have 0. Let's add Bob and add this one, second one, and add third one. So as you can see, now we have 3, but we need to do something which is adding here. So if this user or this contact is inside my favorite list, so we need to display it star like this with the yellow color. Okay, and if it is not inside my favorite list, so we need to display it like this. Okay, so with the dark or black color. Okay, and to do that, so we need to loop through the favorites contacts of the currently logged in user and check if one of these contacts is already here. So if he is already in this list, so we'll add the yellow color to star. Okay, and to do that, let's move to the favorites, not favorites, but to the contact list component. So here we are using the loop here to send each contact, and we need to send another property. Let's call it favorites, and this one, what we'll do, it will use the user dot favorites. But first we need to get the user. So let's check. So we don't have the user here, so we are not using the user. So let's get it like we have done here. So let's copy and paste here. So now we are getting the currently logged in user, and we need also to import the computed. So let's import it, and also we need to import the use page. So let's import it. So now we are done. Okay, so now we have the user. So as I said, we check inside the user favorites list, and we used some method to check if the currently contact, which is the item, and we check using the user ID, which is inside favorites table, and also if the item dot user ID is equal to the contact dot user ID. Okay, which is this contact here. So this one is the favorites contact, and this one is the contacts that we have here. Okay, so we are checking if there is one of this contact is here inside favorites table. Okay, and we need to add another text. So we check for the user ID, and also we need that contact dot ID must be the same as the item dot ID, which is the favorites or the favorited contact. Okay, so now we have this favorites, and we can use it. Okay, and to use it, so let's go back to the contact list item. Let's go down. So here we have contact, and we will receive also favorites. Okay, so here let's call it favorite, and the type is boolean, and the required is true. So now we have favorites, so we can use it to check if the user or the contact is already inside the favorite list of the user. So where is so here we have star. So let's just organize this to be clear for you. So here, as I said, so we need to inside, so here inside the tag for the icon, So we need to bind class so we can use or we can check if the user is or the contact is already favorited by this user. So here we have star, and we need, as I say, to check for the favorites. So if it is true, then what we will do, we will add text warning. If it is false, then we will add nothing. Okay. So let's see what we have here. So as you can see, we have three favorites contacts, and here we have nothing because this one is not inside my favorite list. Let's add it to the favorite list just to be sure that everything is working. So as you can see, now we have 4 and we have 4 stars here. Let's remove this one. And as you can see, we have only 3. Let's remove this one. And as you can see, we have only 2. Let's now display only the favorites contacts. So when we click on this link, so as you can see, we have only 2 favorites. Okay. So now we are done with adding and removing from favorites list. So next we need to move to the final thing, which is search. So we will add here search form, and we will add also the functions and routes so to search for contacts. Okay, so let's do that now.